News from around the globe. Hot, fresh, balanced and objective. On Unity.
Hello and welcome to News Hour on Unity TV. The headlines. Today is Friday, the 3rd of March 2023 and it's equivalent to 11th of Sha'aban 1444 after Hijrah. The headlines. Buhari inspects ruins of Maiduguri Monday market. Anxiety as Supreme Court gives verdict on cash swap. Supplementary election to be held after governorship poll, says INEC. On the foreign sea, 2 Americans arrested for allegedly sending aviation technology to Russia. And in sports military, own goal gives Barca advantage in Copa del Rey semis. And those were the headlines, and for details and more of the stories, I am Rukayat Sani Ibrahim. President Buhari on Thursday inspected the ruins of Maiduguri Monday market destroyed by fire recently, commiserating with the government and people of Borno on the unfortunate incident. The president was also at the palace of the Show of Borno Alhaji Abubakar El-Kanemi to register his profound condolence to the victims who lost property and means of livelihood in the disaster. Malam Garba Show, the president's spokesman, who confirmed this in a statement, said the president also visited the market still smoldering 5 days after. The president was accompanied by Governor Babagana Zulum of Borno, Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima, members of the Federal Executive Council and some eminent citizens of the state. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Hajia Saadiya Farouk, told the president that assessment on the level of damage is still ongoing. She announced that the federal government had provided immediate relief materials to the victims of the fire incident, including 20,000 bags of rice, 20,000 bags of maize, and condiments. There is a sense of uneasiness among Nigerians as they anxiously await the judgment of the Supreme Court in the cases filed by some states to challenge the propriety of the Naira swap policy of the federal government. When parties were last in court on February 22, a 9-member panel of the Apex Court led by Justice John Okoro scheduled justice for March 3 after entertaining final arguments. The plaintiffs in the cases are Kaduna, Kogi, Zamfara, Katsina, Lagos, Cross River, Ogun, Ekiti, Ondo, Sokoto, Rivers, Kano, Niger, Jigawa, Nasarawa, Plateau and Abia states. Upon an application by Bayelsa and Edo states, the court on February 15 joined the two states as co-defendants with the origin sole defendant, the Attorney General of the Federation AGF, in their separate cases that were consolidated with the case by Kaduna, Kogi and Zamfara states. Rivers, Kano, Jigawa, Nasarawa, Abia argued that the policy was unconstitutional and should be voided. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has said that supplementary elections will be fixed after the governorship and state assembly elections. This was made known in a statement signed by the National Commissioner and Chairman of Information and Voter Education Committee (INEC) Festus Okoye on Thursday. Okoye said the commission was aware that in some senatorial districts and federal constituencies, declarations and returns were not made, saying that the commission was compiling the list of the affected constituencies. Okoye assured that the governorship and state assembly elections will be held on March 11 alongside the postponed elections in Enugu and Edo states. The People's Democratic Party presidential candidate Alhaji Atiku Abubakar on Thursday revealed that he was not aware of any reconciliatory moves by the president-elect Bola Tinubu. It was earlier reported that the All Progressives Congress set up a reconciliation committee to meet up with Tinubu, Peter Obi of the Labour Party and other aggrieved candidates of the political parties who contested last Saturday's presidential election. The committee, according to Ondo State Governor Rotimi Akeredolu, is to resolve their displeasure and ensure all parties involved work together with the president-elect, Bola Tinubu, for the growth of Nigeria. Akeredolu disclosed this in a statement released by his chief press secretary Richard Olatunde on Wednesday, but when asked during a press conference on Thursday in Abuja to confirm if some APC governor visited him and they were turned back, Atiku said he was not aware of any such moves. The chief spokesman for the All Progressives Congress Presidential Campaign Council, Festus Keyamo, has admonished the presidential candidates of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, to stop playing the victim despite knowing the president-elect. Asiwaju Bola Tinubu was the victor. Tinubu pulled 8,794,726 votes to defeat his closest rivals, Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and Labour Party's Peter Obi by 6,984,520 and 6,101,533 votes respectively. Keyamo's warning was a reaction to Obi's claim that he was robbed of his mandate at the War Press Conference held in Abuja on Thursday. But an emotional Obi told newsmen that the exercise did not meet the criteria for a free and credible election. This is even as the former Anambra State governor vowed to explore legal and peaceful means to reclaim its mandate. Keyamo, however, countered Obi's argument, saying he is attempting to use certain irregularities outside his strongholds as proof of election rigging when there are tons of evidence of how his supporters engage in thuggery violence and outright falsification of figures circulating all over social media. Former military President General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida has returned to Nigeria after 2 months of medical checkups in Switzerland. It was gathered that the former leader arrived Mina, his hometown, Thursday, en route Abuja through a chartered flight. General Babangida, it will be recalled, traveled out of the country on Saturday, 7th of January 2023, for a routine medical check-up from Mina International Airport for another connecting flight from Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, where he was flown in a private jet out of the country. There were rumors that the former president envisaged some upheavals ahead and during the general election, which was immediately dispelled by one of his spokesperson, Alhaji Mahmoud Abdullahi. General Babangida, in a congratulatory message to the president-elect Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Thursday, described his victory at the Saturday's polls as a new dawn for Nigeria and wished him well. The United States, U.S. and Thursday urged aggrieved parties and candidates in the last Saturday's presidential elections in Nigeria to use all legal means to correct the anomalies observed during the exercise. Ned Prince, spokesman for the State Department, who congratulated Nigerians and the President-elect Bola Tinubu, in a statement said Nigerians were clearly within their rights to have such concerns and should have high expectations for the electoral processes in the just concluded presidential poll. The U.S. also called on the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to address technical hitches surrounding the use of bimodal voter accreditation system (BVAS) before the forthcoming governorship and state assembly elections on March 11. The federal government has summoned the Burkina Faso envoy to Nigeria, Pascal Guba, over alleged murder of 16 Nigerians who were on a pilgrimage to Kaolack, Senegal, over a month ago. The Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Zubairu Dada, made this known on Thursday in a statement signed by the Special Advisor on Media, HMOS, Ibrahim Aliyu. Recall that the Jami'atu Ansaruddin at-Tijaniya of Nigeria revealed that 16 of its members were shot dead allegedly by the Burkinabe soldiers on patrol. They were reportedly on their way to the home country of their leader, Sheikhul Islam Ibrahim Inyas in Senegal, where they met their untimely dead. Dada stated that the Burkina Faso envoy was called to explain in detail what really happened when these 16 Nigerians were brutally killed allegedly by some members of the Burkinabe military. He said Nigerians were agitated by the incident and were calling for a faster and comprehensive response from the government of Burkina Faso. The minister expressed dismay over what he described as unnecessary delay to find out the truth about the ugly incident. On the foreign sea, 2 U.S. nationals were arrested in Kansas City on Thursday for allegedly sending U.S. aviation technology to Russia. The Justice Department announced Cyril Grigory Buyanovsky, 59, and Douglas Robertson, 55, are facing several charges, including exporting controlled goods without a license, falsifying and failing to file electronic report information, and smuggling goods contrary to U.S. law. Their arrest is the most recent move by the Justice Department's task force Klepto-Capture, made up of federal prosecutors, investigators, and analysts, which has worked for the past year to wage a global campaign against money laundering and sanctions evasion in support of the Russian government. Its work has resulted in over 30 indictments against sanctions supporters of the Kremlin and Russian military. According to the Justice Department, after Russia's war in Ukraine began last year, the U.S. government imposed additional sanctions on shipments to Russia. Boyanovsky and Robertson discussed their options for continuing to send shipments to at least one client in Russia, prosecutors say, including by sending shipments through third-party countries. And in sports, Barcelona will take a slender advantage to Camp Nou after they beat Real Madrid 1-0 in their Copa del Rey semi-final first leg at the Santiago Bernabeu on Thursday. An Elder Militao own goal was all that separated the two Spanish giants, with Carlo Ancelotti men having a lot of ball but unable to craft much in the way of chances. Militao's own goal was only the fourth this century in a Clásico, 3 of which have favored Barca after Ivan Helgueras in May 2002 and Rafael Varane's in February 2019. With this story, we've come to the end of our bulletin for today. You can follow us on our social media handles at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Unity Radio FM TV, respectively. You can also watch us live on our YouTube channel on Unity FM TV. I am Ruqayyat Sani Ibrahim. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of our programs.
Unity.